always something I can learn in adversity. There's always things that I'm being shown. I just, my wife and I, we just always feel like, man, if that door got slammed in our face, that was God's protection. You know,
To TNA7 tonight, our guest doesn't need a cape, but if he had one, it would probably say faith, fitness, family, and focus. He's a powerhouse in the business alongside his main source of power, his wife, Bethany. He's a beast in the gym and a man of serious integrity. I can't say enough how I'm a huge fan of this guy in our business. The first time we weren't even introduced formally, but the first time that I heard about him, as most of you have, I didn't hear that there's no D in his Wayne. I thought they were talking about Dwayne Johnson, and I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? I'm in a group chat with Dwayne Johnson, but it's Wayne, equally as solid, and let's welcome him, Wayne Johnson, everyone. Hi, Wayne, how are you?
all right. Thanks so much for having me on.
No,
And
it's an
yeah,
honor
it's
for
an
me,
honor.
man.
Love what you're doing in these series, and so being able to pop in and just share some things and go back and forth will be fun.
Definitely,
So
definitely. I love that. I love that. Take us through your day. How did your day go today?
day was full. It was it's good to
As
be in demand,
always.
right? Got a full day and got another meeting in 30 minutes. Well,
Let's do this. Let's do this.
Gordon's is full, and then it's a beautiful day out. I'm gonna shut it down and go do some stuff with the family. So
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, my man. You are building something great. Faith, fitness, and business, of course. For the people who don't know you yet, who is Wayne Johnson in your own words?
Gosh, that's a great question. I'd say Wayne is I like to be a visionary. I like to keep things super simple. I like to be a guide for people. I've been around. I think we're around the same age, so I've been around the block many times around the world and experienced a lot of things. I feel like I kind of have a little bit of a protector spirit in me. So I like to help people design a life and make good decisions, either with their health, their spirituality, their family, their faith, all those things. Just I try to just walk it out too. I can talk a lot, but a lot of times I'm listening a whole lot. So I'm just listening to observe, and that's me.
Well, I'm going to go right into the hard question here, Wayne. With all the options out there in health and wellness, when Modere folded, what made you choose Shackley, and what made you stay?
That's a great question. I
Cheers.
wouldn't plug for innovation, but when someone makes a 40-gram sparkling drink of protein, 40 grams of protein in a sparkling drink. No, actually, I've been in the industry for 22 years in direct sales. I honestly never thought that was something I was ever going to do, but I found my passion for it. Again, going back to, I loved being fitness. I loved having solutions. Loved the opportunity to design my life, design my day. I always tell people I'm a terrible employee, but I'm a great entrepreneur. I always felt like when I was an employee, I was a lion trapped in a cage at a zoo. Like I was made to
Yeah.
run out in the open and be free to. I really, really work hard. I'm very disciplined on myself. I don't need a boss. And so if I have a boss, I don't really, because I'm probably, besides my wife is my biggest boss. She's good at one telling me what to do. But why this is the third company we've been with. One we were with for 16 years and had just an incredible run. That was a sudden change. Went to Modere. It was great. There was a lot of innovation. We learned a lot of things about social media, even doing what we're doing right now, how to connect and just expand marketing, expand product, clean label, all that. And then when the next phase came, there's always a time where you're just like, am I hanging up my cleats? Is it time for me to be done? I'm an old baseball player. That's kind of what I did growing up. I was like, am I retiring from this game? Is it time to do something else? Because we have other passions. We've done other investments. We do a lot of real estate. I have a big passion in that space to help people do investments and build up legacy wealth capital for long-term generational. But I just came back when we saw Shackley, I was just like, man, this has, if you're thinking about like the best baseball players. They call them like a five-tool athlete. They can
Yeah.
do all
Yeah.
the
5 tool
main
player. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
five-tool player. And I was just, man, like Shackley's like the five-tool, it like has everything, and it's almost like the owner CEO, he's like building it over the last few years, literally for this moment for our team and people to come and join. And the team has absolutely crushed it. It's been amazing because the products are clean, the products work good, they taste good,
Yeah.
people get results, and it's just felt like going in and like the wind's been in our backs to just go. Not like it hasn't been hard, but it's like why I like to work out.
Yeah.
My workouts are never easy because I know nothing comes easy. Like it should always, I always question why I'm doing this workout in the middle of the workout, right? Even when we're building this business that we say is so amazing and so simple, and it's like actually it's hard because you have to show up every day and you got to do work and you got to talk to people and get better and all that stuff. I tend to like things. My wife and I were kind of weird. We like things that are hard because we know like there's always a reward, and there's, what do they say? There's very few people on the last mile, and we just feel like we're last milers, even though we don't like to run. But we just like to, we just have grit, and we know when we see a vision for something, we're like, we're going to see this through. But we're just getting started here. It's amazing. All
I
right.
love it. I love it.
Next question. Next question.
What keeps your mindset? What keeps your mindset sharp when things like go on this? When things when you face challenges in the business, what keeps your mindset sharp?
I would say there's some disciplines that are extremely disciplined for me, and one is I wake up early, and first thing I do is I get a little fuel in my body nutritionally, but I always go to like do a devotional. I do quiet time. I do listening prayer. No matter what's going on, I've literally trained myself where my default reaction is to settle myself and pause for a moment to be able to understand and like, hey, what do I need to know about this? What do I need to do? And I always just feel like there's always something I can learn in adversity. There's always things that I'm being shown. I just, my wife and I, we just always feel like, man, if that door got slammed in our face, that was God's protection. If we were not supposed to be over here, then there's some reason. So we just have always a longer term eternal perspective. We're not very reactive. We're pretty steady. Sometimes people might be like, you guys are kind of boring, but we're just like no drama. We just kind of know what we want to do. This is the life we want to have, and we're willing to work super hard for it. But we both have had, my wife and I have both had separate, pretty traumatic things in our past in different instances where we've just learned to be like, almost everything since then has always been like, well, at least it wasn't that, or it wasn't something like that. We just have that eternal perspective, and we know ultimately where we're going. And along the way here on planet Earth, we just want to be absolute peace and light, and show people that you don't have to live with those constraints on your mind. You don't have to live with those constraints around you, and you can see everything in a different perspective. That's how we try to stay sharp. But it's a battle. Don't get me wrong. I have just as many negative thoughts popping into my head. Sometimes I'm walking around and I'm like, what? Why did I even think that? Where would that come from? That makes no sense. It's like that. There's a verse in the Bible that says, capture every thought to the obedience of Christ Jesus. So it's just like a bad thought. I'm just like, I'm grabbing you, and I'm finding out what the truth of this thought is. That truth is not true. Boom, remove that, go back to what I really believe, and keep marching forward. It takes practice, and I'm never perfect because we have 6 kids in our house. So if we had a hidden camera around me all the time, I'm not just like, hey kids, so amazing, you're so messy and you don't listen to me. This is so joyful here, right?
That's cool. That's amazing. Where does your faith show up most in your day-to-day grind?
I think I wouldn't say I'm like super evangelist, always talking to people about my faith. I think it's more of just how we operate and how we respond to things, and the life that we're living. So I just feel like they always say that kids don't do what you say, kids do what you do and what they see. We just try to model like people when they see us, and maybe they only know us online, but then when they meet us in person, they're one of our best compliments is they're like, wow, you're actually like the same as you are online as you are in person. This is actually kind of weird. Like I meet other people and they're kind of like it's not congruent. It's
Yeah.
not the same. We just try to live it out, and We don't have it all figured out though. And I tell people all the time, oh man,
Awesome.
I'm
That's
learning
awesome.
things all the time, learning things, still trying to learn my wife.
Yeah.
We've been married a long time, but I still try to understand her. She's a mystery too.
She's
So
okay,
in a
man.
good way.
You guys are kicking butt right now. You talk a lot about integrity. How does that guide what you choose to put in your body, promote in business, or partner with?
That's good. I think a lot of people don't really listen to their gut a lot of times, which is really their spirit trying to tell them. And there's just things in me when I can just sense this doesn't align, or this person doesn't align, or there's just something that doesn't fit with. So that again, that's where it's like I'm very deliberate. We're deliberate where we're very quick to say no, but we're really slow to say yes, right? Because we want our yes to really mean it. Like our yes, we want it to be like a heavyweight blow. Like when you get Wayne and Bethany to commit and say yes to you, you got more than just two people. You got two people together since 10,000 to flight, right? So we want our yes to be absolute integrity. And then as far as like fitness and taking care of myself, I've always told myself like I have this like 90-year-old vision. So I think it's important when I'm 90, I want to be able to surf and I want to be able to snow ski,
I love
and I
that.
should just get 120. And so I really think, again, that's super long-term perspective, but I think about what I'm consuming throughout the day. We have cheat meals and we like to be kind of like foodies and wine pairings and things like that. We like to enjoy ourselves too because we
Yeah.
work hard, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of times when I'm like, oh, I don't want to work out, or oh, okay, and I've had a couple sketch days of eating with kids and different things, but then I get that 90-year-old vision of, okay, if I'm going to be able to pull myself up behind my boat to go surfing when I'm 90, I got to have a body that's strong and flexible and being able to do that. And if I
True.
want to be able to ski and use my leg, I got to do these. So it anchors me to something a lot longer. It's not an emotional. For my wife and I, we just, we've tried to get to the place where we just don't make emotional decisions. It's okay to have emotion, right? God gave us emotion. So we can be angry, we can be upset, we can be frustrated, and we voice those things. But it's like you don't make decisions on those things. I'm angry about this, but okay, why am I angry? Let's go
Yeah.
do a little discovery in myself.
Yeah.
And so that just help me navigate it. And again, sometimes my angry or upset can be 5 seconds, and I'm like, "Oh, I really captured that quickly." Or it can go a little bit longer, and I can say things that I don't want to say all the time, and I have to peel that back. But for the most part, we try to just live pretty stable, unemotional in our decisions and things.
Your fitness routine, what does it look like?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. So in my youth, I always like to work out. I call it the beefcake workout, curls for the girls and pecs, just like no legs. So
Yes.
just have little toothpick legs. And then I always had back issues though. I grew up playing baseball, pitching and doing that. And then I started playing a lot of volleyball. So like repetitive of swinging and like those sports. So I always had back injuries, herniated a disc in my back in my 20s. I would get back spasms where it would just lay me up for 2 days where it was just all locked up. And then I did CrossFit for a while, really loved the like CrossFit modality, but I ended up blowing out my disc in my back about 12, what was that, 12, 13 years ago? 13 years ago, I think now. I retired from CrossFit and really from that point, really rebuilt my back, got introduced to liquid biocell that I haven't had a back spasm in 6 years after drinking the liquid collagen with the hyaluronic acid. Like that was like my back had recovered, and then that took my back to this whole other level. So for my training, I like to do a lot of HIIT training, high intensity intervals. I love kettlebells. I have been just because we're on the big protein kick, and I know you do your fitness comp. I have started doing like 3 workouts like a lot heavier reps, a little bit more rest in between, which has been a challenge for me because for like 10 years or like maybe 16 years because of CrossFit, I would do these high intensity fast, go, 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 go. And so I've kind of weaved in some of these slower ones because I want to build some more mass on my body. So I've had to adapt. So I do those workouts, and I have a book with me. So as I take my timer, I set my timer for my like 2.5, 3 minute rest. and then I just read, and then I set it down, and then I go do my slow whatever. But I use a lot of bands, things like that. I
Yeah.
try not to. I almost do no. I don't do any like isolation work, which I know from like fitness and competitions, like that's important because it's like getting those muscles really in symmetry. But I always like to do something where I have tension on my core, and so just that's why I like the bands and the kettlebells, where it's always engaging different parts of my body at the same time. So that's my modality of workout, and I think it helps me with my flexibility too, just because as we get older, staying hydrated, staying where your joints and all that stuff are flexible and can move and twist and do things. That becomes more challenging as you get older.
And I know you have a garage gym, right?
We do.
You host locally, right? You host your friends over. Is it Saturday mornings?
So we have our house, and then on our same property we have like I mean, if you came over, it would look like a full CrossFit gym, and then we have like a meeting space with a bathroom and a kitchen all downstairs. So like for people to come over, and then upstairs where I am right now is the office and some guest
That's
space
so
up
awesome.
here. So on Saturdays, every other Saturday, I do something I call it the Man Makers, and it's kind of funny because I always wanted. I've done this before in the past, but this one I had these guys come over, and at first I was going to scale the workout to make it easier for guys. Let me just introduce you to this. And the first one we did, I just killed them all, and they were like, man, this was amazing. Like, they all did it at different levels, and I said, oh, we can scale it next time. And they're like, no. They're like, you know what, as men we rarely get challenged, and the fact that we know every 2 weeks we're going to come to your house and you're going to try to kill us actually makes me want to work out and eat better
That's
and be,
awesome.
because they're
Yeah.
like, if I don't do that, I'm going to be sore for a week. So here's, if you're a guy watching this, probably what you lack in your life is a challenge beyond a challenge, and to get around other people that are doing super hard things, doing something that's way out of your comfort zone to just push you away, so that you're just like, man, I don't know if I can compete, I can keep up with this, but it's like, actually you can, and it just takes a little more training, a little more time to do that. So that program, and then we do the workout, and then usually we do like a listening prayer time that I've learned from some mentors, where we just go around and the guys all get to check in and kind of just voice what's going on in their life and ask God for some answers. And it's powerful. It's like Knights of the Round Table, man making time. And the workouts are actually Saturday, fly on out here. We're doing it on this Saturday. So come on over, and
Awesome.
we'll
I
give
know
you
that would be good. That
give
would
them,
be good, man. Do
give
you
you the
have any?
beat.
Pardon?
Oh, I said we'll give you the beat down.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Do you have any Shackley products, go-to products that you live by, other than
Oh
protein?
well, so let's scale this, because I tend to be a little bit of a maximizer. If you look at strength finders, both my wife and I, our top five, we both have maximizer as our second strength. So we tend to be like, once we find things and do things, we start to like maximizing it. So I don't want to blow people's minds with too many of my favorites, but if I was going to do two things that would be game changers for a guy to get them started, I would have them do the Life Shake, because most people eat a terrible breakfast or no breakfast, and to get that amount of protein with leucine and the fiber and like all the complexity of that longevity shake. And then I'd also do the custom vitamins called Meology, where you can design out like exactly what your body needs based on a question or your blood work. But those two things you can just do first thing. Literally, you can have that within like 10, 15 minutes of waking up in the morning. And then what I tell people is, it's like nutritionally, you're like running downhill the rest of the day. Like you started your day so well that you have like this foundation that even if you mess up the rest of the day, it can't take away from what you started there. Those two things are absolutes. And then of course the liquid collagen, the BioCell, like I would say that it's amazing. I don't have anyone that's, when I tell them my age, they're always like, hold on, what? How old are you? And I
Yeah.
think like it's a big part of it is having that liquid collagen. That's just nothing like it on the planet. The Meology, the Life Shake, the BioCell. Oh, sorry, we'll keep going. The magnesium at night. And there's not a magnesium product on the planet that has the tri blend that does that makes you sleep and recover. So those are probably like if you sent me off to a desert island and I could only have four, I would get one more. Give me five. Give me five
Okay,
products. So I'm a
go
five
for it.
player is also the Sculpt, which is the branched chain amino acid blend. So it's like getting protein, all the aminos without the calories. If you're really trying to stay lean and pack on muscle, it's a great product to use multiple times a day. Actually, I mix it with the magnesium and the Sculpt before bed. Like I just grow my muscles and recover while I'm sleeping. I don't even do
Absolutely.
anything.
That's the
Just happen.
best. That's the best.
Amazing.
What's your mission behind the business that you're building now?
Oh gosh, that's a ultimately we love this business because we like to help people find their true self, like what they're really called to do. We feel like this business is just an amazing vehicle. It's not their identity, but if they can build this business and really start to discover like, hey, I'm really good at this, or I'm good at that, and I love helping people, and I love figuring out these programs. I love fitness and health and guiding people. So that ultimately my mission in business is just to really help people be a guide and level up, right? Level
Yeah.
up their mindset, level up the belief in themselves, overcome, maybe any past trauma or past setbacks to be like, hey, that happened years ago, that happened days ago, like that doesn't define you. Really just help people walk in like they're the best version of themselves. So that's just something that when people talk about they want to retire, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, retire? What does retiring even mean? I do understand it. Like if you're working as a police officer or a fireman, or you're like, okay, I'm going to retire from this occupation, but I think it's better for people to think about who they are overall, and impacting people is something they do forever. And so that's just something my wife and I were always big on. What we do right now is something we want to do forever because it's always about helping people design their life and improve themselves.
You're not lying. That's so true. That's so true. So if someone's watching and think of joining Shackley right now or entrepreneurship, what would you tell them?
I'd say define reality of where you are right now. Like what's going on in your life. Where are you now, and what's the why? Where do you want to be? Because for a lot of people, it's we live like the movie The Groundhog Day, where you just wake up at the same time, you hit your alarm, you go down, you do the exact same routine, leave your house, go to work, just kind of is like this repetitive thing, and you have the ability with a business like this to just break break a cycle and completely transform your life in 90 days or a year. Or but that's if you're getting started, think of it as people go to college for 4 or 5 years or 8 years to get like medical specialist medical people. 12, they get so much training. A lot of times people will start this business and they have a mindset like, oh, I just want to make some quick money, and it's just like, well, you can make some quick money anywhere. But if you really become a student of this business and you grow, like you're never gonna outgrow your paycheck. Your personal growth will never outgrow your paycheck. So you want to have a mindset like, I'm going to come into this. I'm going to be a student. Like the people we like to work with, I say, if you can have like a Labrador Retriever mindset, which is like, it's a humble, teachable, it's a retriever, meaning a leader is going to say, here's the things you should do to win today. Go throw it out there and then bring it back. And that's that. So if you're working or you're going to get started, you want to be with someone where you're like, hey, I'm ready, I'm humble, show me what to do. I always tell people, I'm going to tell you things to do that it's never going to embarrass you and it's not going to make you look dumb. It's things
Yeah,
that I do. And hopefully you'll see my successes can be your success.
absolutely. There's a couple of things I want to share. When that happened with Modera, I knew that moving forward, I wanted to be either on your team or nothing, pretty much. And I'm just glad that things worked out because I'm still learning from you guys, and I love that. And the other thing I wanted to share was one of the wow story that I've ever seen you put up on your social media was, I think it was a Sunday morning, and you're gonna work out, and you walked in the gym, and Bethany was singing gospel songs while working out or during in between workouts. It's just amazing, man. I'm like, wow, that's pretty crazy. That's amazing. Anyway, I have some this or that questions for you. This or that, strength training or cardio?
Oh, strength training, baby.
Absolutely. Do you do morning or late night workouts?
Oh, morning.
Morning for sure. Do you like to train solo or with a crew?
I would prefer working out with the crew. I do have fun working out with the crew, but I would say 99% of the time it's just me and myself.
I guess like you have like you're so busy, right? You got so much in your day that you just wanna do your thing, get your workout in, and get out of there pretty much, right?
My kids start to weave into the workouts, which is fun. Like I put bands up for my two of my younger boys today to have them do pull-ups.
That's
I
awesome.
came down to the office and they were playing around, and I was like, "Here, do these bands," and I was like, "You do 10 and you do 10, and then when you're done, then we're gonna change the bands up.
Good for
Gotta get
you,
them
man.
young."
Good for you. That's totally goals for me. Light shake or Vivix?
I like the life shake. I mean, I know I take Vivix every day too, but I think shakes. If I was choosing between one that I could only have one, I would do the life shake.
For sure. Collagen 9 or peptide 1?
Ooh, that's that's tough. I mean, I'm gonna say the peptide wand. Look at that, guys. That's
That's
it's
pretty
looking
cool. That
looking
that's 52 right there, everyone. That's
looking pretty
52 right there.
looking looking pretty good. I would say
Yeah,
the peptide wand is helping.
absolutely. Zoom calls or live events? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, live. Oh yeah,
Live for
live.
sure. Lead from the front or empower from the back?
I like to empower from the back. Think of like
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Although I see you as someone who leads from the front, empowering from the back is also amazing. And that's why I love have like being on this team, man. So just for fun, Dwayne Johnson or Wayne Johnson?
Wayne the Pebble. I'm the Pebble. He can be the Rock.
It can be
But
the Rock.
I always tell people it's amazing what David did with five pebbles. Don't ever estimate the pebble. The pebble.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The pebble. Yes. And the last one, a business suit or gym shorts?
Ooh, gym shorts.
Gym shorts.
Gym
Dwayne,
shorts.
this has been incredible. Thank you for making time for us. From fitness to fatherhood, entrepreneurship to leadership, personal growth to why Shackley is your go-to. You've given us a blueprint of how to live it all with purpose. Wayne, final thought. If you could leave every single person watching today with one piece of advice to start living stronger, fuller, and more intentional, what would that be?
Just decide what you really want in life and start. The bridge between what you want and where you are right now is the bridge of discipline. I think you have the capacity to be disciplined, and so get around the right community, get around the right people that are doers. You become who you hang around. The top five people you hang around, you start to become like them. And so just insert yourself, be bold, get around those people, and watch what will happen.
Absolutely. And one more thing, Wayne. I was looking for a gender neutral term for fangirling because that's how I am with you and a couple of other people in this business. And I found out that the word is stan. So that's who I am with Wayne Johnson.
The
Thank
bromance.
you, Wayne, so much. Thank
All right,
you.
I'm
And
hopping on
that's the
this.
game plan. If you're all fired up, inspired, and ready to take action, or explore how Shackley can support your life, please contact Wayne Johnson as well as Christian Virgil here, combined Chris. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a good one, Wayne.
All right, thanks for having me on. You're
Take
doing
care.
awesome. Appreciate you. Okay, bye.